Hello, explorers. Welcome to Faithfully Explore, the podcast where big questions and bold adventures come to life. I'm your host, Laura, and I'm so thrilled you're here because today's adventure is packed with inspiration and maybe even a few surprises along the way. Today, we're meeting an incredible, real-life hero named Fauja Singh, who shows us that no dream has an age limit. In this episode, we'll explore Fauja's life and achievements, find out why he wears a turban, and learn a bit about the Sikh faith that guides his life. Are you ready? Let's faithfully explore the incredible life of Fauja Singh.
Faithfully explore is the name. Learning together is our aim. Beliefs around the globe will track, filling up our belief backpack.
Fauja Singh was born all the way back in 1911 in a village in Punjab, India. That's over 110 years ago. Baby Fauja was so weak that they thought he might never be able to walk. But even as a little boy, he had a strong heart.
Ami, will I ever be able to run like the other boys?
Maybe not today, my little lion, but every step you take is a step towards something wonderful. Keep trying. Your legs may be thin, but your spirit is strong.
Fauja practiced walking every single day. It wasn't easy. Other kids even teased him and called him Danda, which is a Punjabi word for stick, because he was so thin. But he didn't give up. By the time he was 5, he finally learned to walk. And by 15, he could walk a whole mile. Fauja grew stronger, and he learned to run. Life slowed down for a while. Fauja paused his running, got married, and had children. He spent his days working hard as a farmer and focused on his family. It was a peaceful, happy time full of love and purpose. Many years later, when Fauja was in his 80s, he faced a heartbreaking time. He lost both his wife and a son. Feeling deeply sad and needing support, he moved to England to live with his adult children. Even there, he struggled with loneliness because he didn't know anyone in the new area. One day, while watching TV, Fauja noticed a large group of people running. At first, he thought there might be an emergency, but then he saw the smiles on their faces. They were running simply for the joy of it. Something clicked inside him. Fauja realized he needed to try running again. At 88 years old, an age where most people are slowing down, Fauja was lacing up his shoes to start a brand new adventure. Sometimes the hardest moments in our lives help us discover surprising strengths inside ourselves. Fauja started training with a coach named Fauja Singh. And guess what? Fauja signed up for his first marathon in London in the year 2000 when he was 89 years old. A marathon is 26 miles. That's like running around your school track more than 100 times, or zigzagging across your neighborhood all afternoon. Fun fact, when he first started training, Fauja mistakenly thought a marathon was 26 kilometers, which is a lot shorter than 26 miles. Oops! When he realized it was far longer, he just trained harder to be ready for it. That's pretty amazing, right? Now think about something new that you might want to try, even if it feels a tiny bit scary. Picture yourself doing it. Maybe you're singing on a stage, swimming across a big pool, building a robot, or even learning how to do a cartwheel. Grab some paper and draw or write a list of things you're curious about trying. Pick one and plan your first small step this week.
Ready, set, go!
On the big day in London, Fauja ran with thousands of other runners. He finished the marathon in a little under 7 hours. This was just the beginning of Fauja's incredible second chapter of life. Even though he was already 89, Fauja kept on running in marathons around the world. When he was 93 years old, he completed a marathon in 6 hours and 54 minutes. This broke the previous record for the 90-plus age category by almost an hour. He became so famous for his speed and age that he appeared in an Adidas commercial with David Beckham, a soccer player, and Muhammad Ali, a boxer. Can you imagine your great-grandpa running in a commercial with famous athletes? But Fauja was not done making history. In 2011, when he turned 100 years old, he achieved something astonishing. In one special day in Toronto, Canada, Fauja participated in a track meet and set 5 world records in only 94 minutes, because no one over 100 had ever officially done those races before. 3 days later, he went on to run the Toronto Waterfront Marathon and became the first 100-year-old person ever to finish a full marathon. Wow! When he crossed the finish line after 8 hours, people all around the world were amazed. Fauja showed that age is just a number, and you're never too old to achieve your dreams. Picture it now. You're standing near the finish line of the marathon. Runners have been going and going for hours, but now something extra special is about to happen. Suddenly, the crowd starts to roar. You glance down the road looking through all the different runners. There he is, Fauja Singh. His turban is bright, his steps are steady. You hear the crowd cheer.
He's coming.
People are clapping, whistling, and even crying happy tears. Kids are jumping up and down, holding signs like Fauja Power and 100 Years Young. Look, Fauja just ran past with a big smile, waving to the crowd. Fauja runs through the finish line, arms lifted high in victory. He did it! And so many people are cheering, not just because he ran the whole marathon, but because he showed the world that courage, faith, and determination don't have an age limit. What would you shout if you saw Fauja at that moment? Would you clap, cheer, or maybe hold up a sign of your own? A year later, at 101, Fauja carried the Olympic torch at the 2012 London Olympics. He decided to retire from competitive races at about 102 years old. Even today, at 114 years old, Fauja Singh still loves cheering on other runners and stays as active as he can. Now, you might be wondering, how did he do all of this? How did Fauja stay healthy and strong for 114 years? Part of the answer is taking care of his body. He never smoked, and he eats a simple vegetarian diet full of healthy foods. But beyond just food and exercising, Fauja also nourishes his mind and soul. Every night he goes to bed taking the name of my Rabbah, he says. That means he prays and remembers God. He said that when running a marathon, quote, the first 20 miles are not difficult. As for the last 6 miles, I run while talking to God, end quote. Faith and positivity give him strength when the race gets tough. Fauja Singh's story teaches us about perseverance, which means never giving up, overcoming challenges, and how faith can inspire us to do great things. Imagine being teased as a kid for not walking, then one day becoming a world-famous runner in your old age. That's a real-life superhero origin story. No wonder some people call him the Sikh Superman. Okay, let's pause for a fun break. Fauja ran for hours. How about we try running in place for, let's say, 10 seconds? Ready? Stand up, everyone, kids and parents, and just jog where you are. If you happen to be in the car listening, just jog with your arms. Ready? Here we go. 10, 9, 8. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Phew! Can you feel your heart pumping? Even 10 seconds of running can get us energized. Fauja ran for 8 hours at age 100. Incredible! Take a deep breath. Grab a sip of water if you have one. Let's do a quick joke time. What do you call a 100-year-old who runs marathons? Tired. No, just kidding. You call him Fauja Singh. Now that we've gotten a taste of running, let's dive back into Fauja's story and something special he wears when he runs. Have you seen pictures of runners wearing caps or headbands? Well, Fauja Singh always runs wearing a turban on his head. A turban is a long cloth wrapped around and around the head. Fauja's turban is often bright white or orange, and it's a very important part of who he is. In fact, that's why people nicknamed him the Turbaned Tornado, because of his turban and his speed. So why does he wear a turban? Fauja wears a turban because he is a Sikh. Can you try to say that with me? Sikh. One more time. Sikh. Sikhism is a religion, and wearing a turban is a big part of the Sikh faith for many followers. For Fauja, his turban is a sign of pride and faith. He once said, quote, "It is God's grace that I wear a turban and flaunt a beard which got me instant recognition while running marathons. When I won, everyone wanted to know about the turbaned winner." End quote. In other words, people noticed him because of his turban and beard, and that opened a chance for him to tell about his culture and faith. Cool, right? Now let's explain what a turban is and why it's so meaningful. A turban, or as it's called in Punjabi, the Sikh language, a dastar, isn't just a fancy hat. It's a long piece of cloth that Sikhs carefully wrap around their head. It can be any color of the rainbow. Sikh men, and sometimes women, wear turbans to cover their long hair, which they never cut as a sign of respect to God. Yep, Sikhs grow their hair really long, sometimes knee length, because they believe hair is a gift from God. The turban keeps that hair tidy and clean and shows the world, I am a Sikh and I am proud of it. Long ago in India, only kings or important people wore turbans, but Sikh gurus or teachers said, everyone is equal in God's eyes, so everyone should be able to wear a turban like a crown. So wearing a turban is a way Sikhs show that all people are equal and deserve respect. It's also a reminder to the Sikh person wearing it to be brave and kind and to live by their faith. I like to think of it this way. A Sikh turban is like a superhero cape, but worn on the head. It reminds the person to stand up for what is right, help others, and be proud of who they are, just like a superhero is. When Fauja Singh ties his turban each morning, it's part of his routine that likely gives him strength and identity. Even when racing, he doesn't take it off. It's part of him, flapping a little bit in the wind as he runs. So thanks to his turban and his speedy feet, Fauja became famous worldwide. But more importantly, he always stayed true to his beliefs while he broke those records. To understand those beliefs better, let's learn a little bit about Sikhism, the faith of Fauja Singh. Sikhism is a religion that started about 500 years ago in a place called Punjab in India. The word Sikh means student or learner, and Sikhs are students learning from their amazing teachers called gurus. The very first guru was Guru Nanak, born way back in 1469. There were 10 gurus altogether, and today's Sikhs still follow the lessons inside their special book, the Guru Granth Sahib. It's like the world's greatest guidebook full of songs, prayers, and wise advice about living kindly and bravely. Sikhs believe there's one loving God called Wahe Guru, which means wonderful teacher. Wahe Guru loves everyone equally. Sikhs believe we're all special and equal. One way they show it is through something called langar, a free meal at their temples called gurdwaras, where anyone can sit together and eat. Rich, poor, old, young, doesn't matter. Everyone's welcome for a free meal. Sikhs believe it's super important to work hard and be truthful. Fauja did this by training carefully and living a simple, honest life. Sikhs love sharing, whether it's food, time, or kindness. Fauja shared his running victories to raise money for good causes. Sikhs try to think about God throughout the day. Some pray, some sing special songs, and some simply show gratitude, just like Fauja did while running marathons. Many Sikhs wear 5 special reminders called the 5 Ks. Kesh, which is uncut hair, kara, a bracelet that symbolizes that God has no beginning or end. Konga, a little comb to help their hair stay neat. Kachara, special shorts worn for modesty. And kirpan, a small curved sword symbolizing courage and protection. So if you had to sum it all up, Sikhism is all about remembering God, working hard, treating everyone kindly, and helping whenever you can. Pretty inspiring, right? Fauja Singh's life is like a big shining light for both kids and grown-ups. Here's a man who never gave up, even when he was mocked as a child. Even when he went through sadness in life, he found strength in staying active and in his belief in God. He shows us that being different is okay. He proudly wears his turban and very traditional Sikh beard, even in races where most other runners might look very different from him. Instead of it holding him back, it became his trademark and gave him confidence. Think about it. Fauja started a whole new adventure at an age when most people think adventures are over. He started running competitively at 89. That teaches us that it's never too late to chase your dreams or to try something new. Maybe you're 5 and you think you can't learn to tie your shoes. Hey, Fauja was 5 and hadn't learned to walk, but he got there. Or maybe you're 10 and afraid it's too late to pick up a new sport or hobby. No way! It's never too late. If Fauja can start running at 89, you can start that art class or soccer practice now. He also teaches us that healthy living means taking care of your body and your mind. Most beautifully, he shows that faith can be a powerful friend in your life. Whether you're Sikh or not, having hope and speaking kindly to yourself or to God can carry you through hard times. Whenever Fauja runs races, he often isn't aiming to be first. He aims to finish and to encourage others. During marathons, younger runners would slow down just to run alongside him and get inspired. He became a beloved figure to cheer on, and he used his fame to break stereotypes too. Some people might see an elderly person or someone in a turban and make wrong assumptions. But Fauja's achievements shout loud, "Don't judge a book by its cover." People of any age, any attire can do amazing things. Now that we're all feeling inspired, let's talk about how we can be good friends and allies. If you have a friend or classmate who is Sikh, or if you meet one someday, here are some tips for being respectful and friendly. If your Sikh friend wears a turban or a smaller head covering called a patka, which many Sikh children wear instead of a full turban, Remember, it's not just a fashion accessory, it's very special to them. You should never pull, tug, or joke about someone's turban or head covering. It's part of their identity, so we treat it with respect. If you're curious about it, you can ask polite questions like, how do you tie it? Or, does it have a special meaning to you? Most people will be happy that you want to learn more. One way to show a friend you care is trying a little bit of your friend's language. Sikhs from Punjab often say Sat Sri Akal to greet each other, which roughly means truth is eternal. But Sat Sri Akal is used like hello or goodbye. Try it with me. Sat Sri Akal. Sat Sri Akal. You got it. You could surprise your friend by greeting them with Sat Sri Akal, accompanied by a smile. If you see a kid wearing a turban or a patka at your school or playground, they might have had experiences of people staring or excluding them because they look a bit different. You can be the one to say hi and invite them to play. By being friendly, you can be a bridge for others to also learn and accept. If you ever see someone teasing or bullying a person for wearing a turban, or any other religious symbol like a hijab, yarmulke, cross necklace, etc., stand up to them if you can, or go get an adult. Remember that sometimes people bully because they don't understand. You can be the one who explains. He wears a turban because it's part of his religion and it's important to him. Bridging understanding helps stop prejudice. The best way to build a friendship is to ask questions and listen. You could ask your Sikh friend about their favorite holidays. Sikhs celebrate Vaisakhi, a spring festival, and Gurpurab, Guru Nanak's birthday. Maybe they can tell you about it, and you can share your traditions too. Trade stories. This way, both of you learn something new and feel respected. Who knows, you might even get invited to a Gurdwara event or get to taste Kara Prasad, a sweet pudding Sikhs often serve. Yum! Sharing cultures with friends makes life richer and more fun. It's time to zip open our belief backpack and see what magical items we're taking home from today's adventure. Add to your belief backpack the endless running shoes. They remind us that one step at a time, with belief in ourselves, we can do amazing things, no matter how old or young we are. Next, add the Glow of Peace pebble. It glows softly when you pause to take a deep breath. Think something kind or say a quiet prayer, just like Fauja does while running. It reminds you that a peaceful mind and hopeful heart can carry you far, even when the path is long. The last thing we'll put in our belief backpack is Fauja's water bottle. It reminds us that taking care of our bodies can help us live a long, energetic life. So let's remember to play, run around, and also rest well. That's quite a backpack full of wisdom. You can pull out these lessons whenever you need a boost or a reminder. Before we wrap up, let's play a little guessing game to test your ears and your memory. First, I'm going to play a few sounds, and you guess what each one is. Any guess what that was? That was the sound of running shoes and the cheering crowd, just like on Fauja's big race day. Ready for another? What would make that sound? That soft, fluttering sound was Fauja's turban in the breeze as he runs. Let's try one more. What could that be? What you heard was a water bottle opening and someone taking a sip. Staying hydrated is important, especially for a runner like Fauja. Great guessing! All right, quiz champions, let's see how much awesome knowledge your brain packed into that belief backpack. True or false? Fauja Singh could not walk until he was 5 years old. That's true. Little Fauja had weak legs and started walking late, but he grew up to be a great runner. What does the word Sikh mean? A. Champion. B. Student. C. Friend. The word Sikh means student or disciple. Sikhs are students of their gurus or teachers. Why do Sikhs wear a turban? A. To cover their uncut hair as a sign of faith. B. Just to look cool. C. It represents values like equality and courage. This one is A and C. They cover their long, uncut hair with it, and it stands for important values. Though many do look pretty cool in it, but that's not the main reason they were turban. How old was Fauja when he ran his first marathon? A. 65 years old, B. 77 years old, or C. 89 years old? The answer is C, 89 years old. And he kept going for many more years after that. You did it! Whether you got every question right or learned something new, stand up and dance it out for a few seconds. Every episode, I love to give you a weekly challenge, something fun to do with your family that's inspired by what we learned. This week's challenge is called Fauja's Fun Run or Walk. Your goal is to stay active and positive every day this week, just like Fauja Singh. You could go on a family run or walk together. It could be around your block, at a park, or even in place in your living room. See if you can do, say, 15 minutes of moving each day. If running is too much, a brisk walk or a dance session to your favorite song counts. While you're doing your activity, remember Fauja. If you get tired and want to give up, try Fauja's trick. Talk or sing to God. Or if you're not religious, sing a motivating song or think happy thoughts. It could be as simple as saying, I can do it, as you move. Notice if that makes it easier or more fun. At the end of the week, talk with your parents or friends about how it felt. Did staying active each day make you feel good or tired or both? What was the hardest part? Did positive thinking help? By doing this, you're following in Fauja's footsteps. Literally. And living out some Sikh values of discipline and optimism. I can't wait to hear how your Fauja Fun Run Challenge goes. Ask your parents to help you send us a voice message sharing what you did, how it felt, or your favorite moment. In fact, let's hear from some of our amazing listener friends who shared what they loved about past episodes.
My name is Jacob, and I am 11 years old, and I live in Utah. After listening to the episode, I enjoyed learning most about the people who don't want their shoes inside because it will bring devils.
What a great observation, Jacob. Different cultures have really interesting beliefs about everyday life, and noticing those small but meaningful traditions shows me how great you are at paying attention.
Hi, my name is Bryn. I'm 14 years old and I'm from Utah. My favorite thing about this week's episode was the story about the snake creating the mountains and valleys. I really liked how it taught us that we're all connected and that we need to take care of the earth.
You're right, Bryn. That Aboriginal story reminds us how important it is to care for nature and each other. I'm so glad you made a connection with it.
My name is Adela. I am 10 years old and I live in Utah. I enjoyed learning most about all of Australia and I hope to take a trip there sometime.
I want to go back, Adela. Australia is full of amazing stories and landscapes. I hope you get to go someday and explore it yourself. It was really fun to hear from some of our listeners. Thanks, explorers, for sharing your voices with us. I'd love to hear from even more of you. If you have a question, thought, or want to tell us what you liked about an episode, send a recording with your parents' help to faithfullyexplore@gmail.com. You might even hear your voice on a future episode. Gather around for story time. This story is about Guru Nanak, the very first guru, and it teaches one of the values we mentioned before, sharing with others. It's sometimes called Sasha Sada, which means true bargain or true deal. Long, long ago in Punjab, there lived a boy named Nanak. He was just 12 years old and he had a heart full of kindness and big ideas. One sunny morning, Nanak's father called him over.
Son, here's 20 rupees, a lot of money. Go to town, buy goods we can sell, and make a good bargain.
Nanak nodded and set off toward the market, a jingling bag of coins in his hand, and a servant by his side. As they walked, they spotted a group of travelers sitting under a shady tree. They looked tired, dusty, and very, very hungry.
They look like they haven't eaten in days.
But your father said to buy goods. Shouldn't we hurry to the market?
Nanak thought hard. Then his eyes lit up.
Maybe this is the best bargain we can make.
Instead of heading to the market stalls, Nanak dashed to a nearby food stand. He bought rice, flour, fruits, and other goodies. Together with the servant, he cooked a giant meal, steaming rice, fresh bread, sweet fruit, and served it to the hungry travelers.
Bless you, little one. May your kindness return to you 100 times over.
Nanak smiled as he watched the travelers fill their bellies and rest happily in the shade. When all the food was gone, so were the rupees. Empty-handed but proud, Nanak marched back home. But his father was not impressed.
Where are the goods, Nanak? I gave you that money to make a profit.
Nanak stood tall and answered calmly.
Father, I did make a profit. I made the truest bargain.
True bargain? What's that supposed to mean?
Nanak's eyes twinkled as he explained.
Feeding the hungry and bringing smiles to tired faces is the best deal anyone can make. The blessings I earn today are worth more than any stack of goods.
His father paused, then slowly smiled too. He was starting to understand that money and goods come and go, but kindness is a treasure that lasts. From that day on, everyone remembered Nanak's big-hearted choice. The place where Nanak fed those people is now remembered with a special shrine called Sasha Sada, which means the truest bargain, so that people don't forget this message about sharing and helping others. And that's the big lesson from this story. Helping others is the best trade you can ever make. When we share what we have with someone in need without asking for anything back, we make the world a brighter place. That's why Sikhs started Langar, the community kitchen where everyone is welcome to sit down, eat and feel cared for, just like Guru Nanak showed long ago. What a beautiful story! Just like Nanak, we can all choose to make the true bargains in life: kindness, sharing, and caring for others. What's one thing you could share this week? Maybe it's part of your snack, a toy you really like, or even a kind word to someone who needs it. Big or small, every act of sharing makes the world brighter. What an adventure today, friends! We met Fauja Singh, the turbaned tornado, who taught us about perseverance and faith. We learned why he wears that turban with pride and got a peek into the Sikh way of life. From one God to Langar kitchens and the importance of sharing with others. We even heard a story from the gurus and picked up lessons to carry in our belief backpack. Give yourselves a round of applause for being such great explorers. Before we say goodbye, get ready for a sneak peek into our next episode. We're traveling to a peaceful garden under a big, beautiful tree to celebrate a very special birthday, the day the Buddha awakened to wisdom. We'll learn about the life of Siddhartha Gautama and how he became the Buddha, what it means to become enlightened, and how people around the world celebrate Vesak. You don't want to miss this bright and beautiful journey. Thank you for joining me on Faithfully Explore today. Want to keep exploring? Head over to my website where you'll find extra goodies like a mini coloring book called Fauja Singh Marathon Man, which retells the inspiring story we explored today. Remember, the world is full of amazing stories and beliefs, and every time we learn about them, we build bridges of friendship and understanding. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep that spirit running strong. Sat Sri Akal. Bye-bye, and I'll see you next week.